You're sitting at your desk one morning, minding your own business, feeling very good about yourself, and then you hear the door slam. Your colleague walks in. He brushes by your desk and knocks over the cup of coffee, spilling liquid everywhere. Boy, are you angry. What's wrong with that guy? And he then continues on as if nothing ever happened. You really want to go and give him a piece of your mind. But as we have been discussing these past couple of weeks, you want to be able to talk to him in a way that's productive. You don't want to make things worse. You want him to be able to hear what you have to say. So you already know that you can't be angry. You have to calm down. You have to be able to lower your emotions if you want him to be able to respond in an emotionally positive way. So perhaps you wait until you're feeling a little bit better. But now it comes time to do the second step, which is dibur, which is to speak to him. What do you say and how do you say it? This video will be the beginning of 3 steps of dibur that will help us understand how to say things and in a way that will be helpful and productive. Today is step 1 of dibur, of speech. What do you say and what do you do? The first step is ask. Don't assume. Assumption is going to be the source of all mistakes. You have to first ask him, what's going on? What happened? Of course, remembering our earlier lessons of staying calm. Don't ask him, what's wrong with you? How can you do that? Of course, that's going to bring out the negative emotions. But ask with curiosity, what's going on? Why did you do that? Did you realize that you knocked over my cup of coffee? This is so powerful. Let me explain with you today 5 ramifications, 5 reasons why this is so powerful, just to do a simple thing like asking. The first one, of course, is to actually find out information. Perhaps the reason why he's so angry is because he got into an accident on the way in. And now his car, that brand new car that he bought, has damaged and he's going to have to spend thousands of dollars, or who knows what type of story. If we realize and understand where he's coming from, we might have a different reaction. So first you have to ask just to be able to find out the information. What happened? The second thing you do when you ask is you convey respect. You don't make assumptions that he did something wrong for no reason. You tell him, I respect you, just by saying, why? What happened? What's going on? I learned this lesson actually from students when they would come in and they would get in trouble, and oftentimes it was repeat offenders and they had done the same thing many times. If I didn't ask them why, they would get offended and say, we didn't have a chance to tell our story, even though I very much knew what they were going to say. And I began to hear that I'm not respecting them. They felt disrespected if they didn't get a chance to say their part, even if we already really know what they're going to say, and we are correct. It's an amazing opportunity to show them the respect that I'm going to ask you and hear your opinion and hear your side of the story. The effect brings us to the third reason, and that is it calms down the person who you're upset with, the person you want to talk to, the person you want to be able to hear your words. It helps them calm down if they're escalated, if they're upset. They now feel like they have an opportunity to talk. They're respected. You want to hear what they have to say, and then they can let it out. And that will allow them to begin to be able to hear whatever you have to say next. So it's for your own benefit. If you allow them to say, to share, they will then be more receptive to be able to hear what you want to say. Which is the fourth reason, is that ultimately we want to be able to get to the point where you can share with them and to be able to guide them and help them. So therefore, when they calm down, they are now prepared to hear you. And finally, it also allows you to calm down. And like we said before, if we're upset, if we're angry, then that's what they're going to hear, and they're not going to hear our words or our suggestion. So it also gives you an opportunity to calm down. Perhaps it's because you understand the situation differently, but it also gives you the time, like the Chofetz Chaim suggested, to give time so you can calm down. This too will let you calm down and be able to respond appropriately, and then indeed to be able to give them the direction that you can and that they will benefit from. Let me share a story with you that happened many years ago when I was a principal in the school that will really bring to light a lot of these things that we just spoke about. One day I was walking down the hallway and I saw a young man trying to break into his classroom. It was during recess and the door was locked and the kids were all outside playing as well as the Rebbe. And he was not where he was supposed to be, doing something he was not supposed to do. And I was particularly alarmed because this class has been experiencing that things had gone missing. Someone had been taking belongings that belonged to the Rebbe. So my initial assumption was that here we go, I found the culprit. But I had already learned to ask. So I called him over and I said, young man, why are you not at recess? Why are you not outside? And why are you trying to break into your classroom? I did my best to stay calm and to be able to ask just factually, but of course that was a challenge because my emotions were rising through the ceiling rapidly. And the student said to me, he said, Rebbe, and he took on a very sheepish expression. He said, I'm sorry, I know I'm not supposed to be doing this, but you have to understand, I got into a fight with my chaver, and I don't know how to reconcile with him, and I don't know how to apologize. So I decided I was going to write a letter, and I was going to sneak it into his Gemara when he wasn't seeing, and then hopefully when he reads it, I'll be then able to talk to him peacefully when he's no longer angry with me. And indeed, in his hand, he had a piece of paper, and he showed me the paper, and it said, Dear Yankel, I'm so sorry for what I did. I want to be your friend. Immediately, all of my emotions completely evaporated. I began to see the situation completely differently. Perhaps he was doing something wrong, but it was not because he was trying to steal. He was trying to make amends. And of course, I responded completely differently than had I just immediately assumed what I assumed and responded without asking. May we always be zoiche to be able to have good relationships and good interactions with our fellow peers, our students in Al Talmidim. And of course, if you would like to speak to me or consult with me in any way, please log on to chinuchcoach.com. Schedule a free 15-minute meeting with me, and I'll be happy to be able to assist you in any way I can.